Also today, it is important to note that we have agreed sanctions, restrictive measures on Iran because of the appalling human rights record of Iran. Iran seems to have believed that with all the change happening in the Middle East, that they can get away with an even worse human rights situation in their country, the imprisonment of opposition leaders, the detention of more journalists than any other country in the world, the excessive use of the death penalty, often on vague charges, and the European Union is agreeing today restrictive measures on 32 individuals in Iran we believe are responsible and instrumental in those policies. We're also agreeing on the renewal of a strong sanctions regime on Burma, another country which has an appalling human rights record, and I'm pleased that the European Union has fully recognized that in our deliberations as well. Time for a couple of questions here and then over here.
What kind of time frame do you see for a humanitarian mission in Libya involving military troops?
Well, that will depend on the United Nations. That will depend always on their advice. The UN is in the lead in coordinating such assistance. Of course, humanitarian assistance is getting through to Libya, including to Misrata. That has not so far needed military assistance in order to deliver it. And so it depends on the situation on the ground. Yes?
Minister, since NATO did take over the operation in Libya, it looked like no one is happy. Even the opposition or the French was commenting today that NATO is not doing enough. Is there any other scenario that you are preparing to do better?
Well, we must maintain and intensify our efforts in NATO. That is why the United Kingdom has in the last week supplied additional aircraft capable of striking ground targets threatening the civilian population of Libya. Of course, it will be welcome if other countries also do the same. There is always more to do, but what we have to remember is that thousands of lives have been saved, including the population of Benghazi 3 weeks ago from being stormed by Gaddafi's forces, by the action that NATO and our allies have taken. So a huge amount has been achieved by Libya, but clearly there is more to be done. One more question. Yes.
Can you tell us what the conditions are, from your point of view, conditions would be for a ceasefire in Libya, and how such conditions for a ceasefire would be verified?
Well, they involve the implementation of the United Nations resolutions. And the conditions for that are those set out by President Obama on the 18th of March, reinforced by our Prime Minister and by President Sarkozy. That includes, of course, disengaging from the towns and cities in which Gaddafi's forces are attacking the civilian population. It means a real ceasefire, a genuine ceasefire. Twice the regime have announced a ceasefire, but continue to bombard the people of Misrata and many other locations. So the important thing, of course, is to get such a real ceasefire. Then it would be possible under United Nations or other auspices for that to be monitored. And of course, to have any viable peaceful future for Libya, Colonel Gaddafi needs to leave. Okay, we'll see you later. Thank you very much.